Hey, this is Devin, and welcome to another episode of Fireside Trumpet Chat. And today I'm joined here by my good buddy OptiKidder3, or Connor. And today we'll be talking about trumpet technique, and more specifically tonguing, such as triple tonguing and double tonguing, and just tonguing in general. So, Connor, how you doing?
We got to start with single tongue because that's the
Right,
basic.
so that is the base. Okay. So, yes, let's start with single tonguing. So, what do you know about single tonguing? What is the vowel you make when you tongue, personally?
Uh, yeah, tutu.
Tutu. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Important to keep it light and just touch like the top of your teeth where it meets with the gum, like. Right.
Yeah, that's true. Definitely. And as you get higher, it's always important to like keep in mind like the pressure you're tutuing with is, or like how the pressure you're tonguing with, because what I've noticed in my playing definitely is that like with the tonguing, the higher I go up, my personal preference is to just
Hammer.
yeah, try to hammer it out. Yeah.
Causes the harsh sound that makes like the notes crackle and pop, and the ones that you don't like.
Exactly. Yeah, and it also makes the attacks a lot slower and a lot more muddy when you're just like hitting it directly on the teeth instead of like in that gum tooth area. Yeah, it's very important to.
Makes it a lot harsher, not necessarily muddy, but like harsher.
That's
If you
true.
do it further back, it makes it more dull, and further forward is harsher. So you want to find a good in between.
Yeah, that's true. It's always important to find a good in between with that. I think you're right about that. Like in the middle range and like the low range, it's not too difficult because the notes are a lot more, I guess, stable. Not stable necessarily, but they're a lot less.
You don't have to be as precise. You still need to be precise.
I agree. You don't have to be like super precise with those middle of the staff notes. Like when you're playing C in the staff, it's a lot more different feeling than playing like a C above the staff, because with the tonguing, it's like the air isn't as fast or it isn't as pressurized, so you don't have to be as precise.
You don't have to. Yeah. You're more relaxed, even though you should still be just as relaxed in the upper register. But yeah, you feel more relaxed, even though.
Yeah, you feel more. I agree with that. It's a lot about that feeling that you get down there rather than up there, which is I feel like what a lot of players are trying to find, kind of like that feeling up there, feeling relaxed. Yeah, that's single tonguing. I mean, I feel like that's a pretty good summary of single tonguing in general. Just like it's 2-2, and you kind of keep the tongue closer like to the gum tooth area instead of like directly on the teeth or directly on the gums. It does depend on every player. Like everyone, I've seen different things all around online, but that's that's I think we can both agree on that for both of us personally, probably, right?
Because when you hit the teeth, it like cuts off the air. You don't want to like cut it off. You just kind of. You have to move your tongue further, and it takes more time. So.
Yeah, that's true. You want it to be like quick. You want it to be like more efficient. Exactly. All right.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to other tonguing types, like there's double tonguing, there's triple tonguing, there's in jazz, there's a few different ones. There's like doodle tonguing in jazz. But what do you know about the like double tonguing? Let's start there.
Double tongue. Same principle as single tonguing. You want to keep it light, but you use syllables like to digga digga or ticka ticka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's also pretty hard to do though.
And double tonguing is hard. Everybody has like different syllables. Like most people use like ticka or digga, but some people use like ticka or other syllables like yeah.
Yeah, that's
It
true.
depends how you play and who you are. But
Yeah, because everyone has like a different mouth, different tongues, different like face
most of it's
structure.
just figuring out for yourself. You gotta just do a lot of practice over and over again.
That's true. Yeah, practice is very important. I think something that I found is pretty helpful is like you turn on a metronome for 1 minute, and then first thing you do for a minute is just like single tonguing, and then the next thing you do is like double tonguing, and these are 16th notes at like 100 BPM. Like you're doing for 1 minute straight, and then another minute straight double tonguing, and then another minute straight like triple tonguing, and that's a good way to practice that. Because it's all about finding your own feel for it. Yeah, I agree with that.
All tonguing, just find like a fun passage or excerpt you like to play. That's not too difficult rhythm wise, and you can just go through it and slowly speed it up. Like on concert A2, the digga 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 digga.
True.
That's how I learned. Anyways, sorry. Back to triple.
Yeah, no, expanding on your point there, I do agree with that. Like, it's also, so like when you're practicing high as well, that you want to find like a high excerpt that you really enjoy so that you can like practice playing high in an actual kind of song setting. I feel like the same thing could be applied to double tonguing, where you really
Yeah,
want to find like practice it in a like classical context, like in concert etude.
you gotta get used to how it feels,
Yeah, exactly. Getting used to that feeling. That's true.
making it comfortable.
Yeah, being comfortable is very important when it comes to tonguing. Like if you're not comfortable tonguing, it's like you say, like the notes
Another,
either get dull or they get, they don't sound good.
which is why you should find like an excerpt or a scale. You can do that where you get in all the ranges. You're not like stuck on one note for forever, and you have to like switch. Oh no, it's a different note. I have to change everything.
Yeah, that's true. Getting those like different mouth positions for each note is important.
You can just go like digga 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 digga.
Yeah, making it all smooth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And now triple tonguing is very similar, I would say. It's like tataga 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 tataga, or some people say it's taka taka taka
Well,
taka.
it's like either tutuka or tikata. I do the TKT. But, my band director does a TTK, so it's like tutuka, tutuka, tutuka. I can't do it. But then mine is a tikata 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 tikata. Yep, yep.
Yeah. I've tried both of them out, and yeah, I think they're both equally valid. Personally, I do tatika 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 because that's what that's what my instructor taught me really early on. But
I wish I had learned that because I feel like that's better.
I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say it's better. I think both are.
It sounds smoother when you're going between notes. So it's like tikka tikka versus tikka tikka. But yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Cause like taka 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 taka. Yeah, I can't do that one. Yeah, that's true. I guess tatika 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 is a bit smoother, but taka 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 is.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it does depend with what you're comfortable with. Cause tatika 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 tatika, it's kind of difficult to get the titas to get like like really fast. But then with the takata 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 takata.
Is faster, but yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's more of a feel thing than like a real speed thing. Cause I feel like takata takata.
Technically, the titika and the tikita are both the same because when you go tikita tikita, you're still doing the titika versus titika titika. You just start on a different like thing.
Yeah, you just start on a different part of the beat.
All the same. It's just how you start. But yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And I guess in that sense, I think they're both pretty much the same effectiveness. I mean,
Yeah, pretty much same speed. I learned something.
whoa, me too. That's very interesting. Getting different perspectives on stuff. Wow,
That's whack, bro.
that's wild. Yeah, I mean, definitely. Yeah, when it comes to triple tonguing, it's also I think that's the main thing about tonguing in general is that it's a lot about just what feels right. Like if for you takada 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 feels right, then like that feels right. And if for me tatika 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 feels right, that feels right. But it all depends on the player as well. Because that's the thing about trumpet. A lot of things are very like different player to player.
Good. That's why you gotta practice on your own and not with the band rehearsal. That way you can figure out how you wanna. You can figure out everything for yourself.
Yeah, no, I agree with that point. That like practicing on your own is very important. Like having a daily practice routine and everything is very good. I feel like tonguing is also different depending on which style. Like I was talking about jazz earlier as well about the doodle tongue, but style is very important because like with jazz as well. I mean, it's also a thing about tonguing. It's also a lot about articulation as well. Like articulation and tonguing kind of go hand in hand, I guess you could say. Yeah.
You gotta use the right amount of air for the articulation that you want.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have to really balance everything out correctly. You have to use the right tongue position. You have to use the right air, and all of that. I think tonguing. I don't know. I think tonguing is just like plays a part into articulation. Because they're definitely related, and I feel like tonguing is a big part of articulation. And articulation is like a very big trumpet subject that's very large and all-encompassing when it comes to trumpet. Because not only does it count when it comes to tonguing, but it counts when it comes to breath attacks, when it comes to style. Like jazz articulation is different from classical articulation, and a lot of that does have to do with the tonguing. Like in jazz, oftentimes, the articulation is jazz is a lot more like, swing, and there's Latin, and there's like all that kind of different rhythmic structures that are kind of not seen all that much in, oh my god, it is a McAfee ad, are not seen as much in classical music. And I would say that it's definitely important to keep those stylistic variations in mind, because with the doodle tonguing, there's this really good video I found on it. I don't remember the guy's name, the channel's name, but he made a good video on it. And, it really does depend on what you're playing. Because with jazz, a lot of the faster passages, like a lot of Clifford Brown stuff, you'll hear him playing a lot of doodle tonguing. Like, it's like, and it's like, definitely in that swing style, but it's a lot more of a relaxed swing. And that's also really hard to do. Like, I've only recently been able to start doing it because it's like, it's difficult to get the air going through there really well. But that's definitely something about jazz, and the articulation's different. And, tonguing is just a bigger part of all that, I think. And, yeah.
To summarize, the tongue is very important.
Yes, tonguing is quite important, I agree. And that has been today's episode of Fireside Trumpet Chat. Thank you for watching this episode of Fireside Trumpet Chat. And I'm done talking now. Are you?
Next time.
Yeah. I'll see you next time. Subscribe, please, and bye.